My name is Patricia Lokoma Mpango, and into the news, the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Kataha Museveni, has said that the countdown for the 10 years and the national teachers policy requiring that a minimum qualification for a teacher shall be a bachelor's degree will start from the month the National Teachers Act comes into effect.
Minister, I would like to request you to receive this copy from your side.
Ministry of Education and Sports, together with Chambogo University, have released the 2021 Grade 3 Teachers Certificate in Primary Teacher Education Examinations, where 67.9% of the students who sat the examinations passed. In the year 2021, 5,576 candidates registered for the examinations compared to the 8,870 who registered in 2020, leading to a decline in candidature of 37%. This is being attributed to implementation of the teacher policy that mandates all teachers to hold a degree to qualify for the teaching profession. There was also a decline in performance as compared to previous years.
Decline in the overall performance pass may be attributed to poor performance in mathematics education and Kiswahili education, and most likely the effects of COVID-19 pandemic.
All subjects except mathematics and Kiswahili had a percentage pass of 97%. While releasing the results at State House Nakasero, the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Kataha Museveni, said this performance will improve further with the new teacher policy requirements.
The change in the entry requirements we made 5 years ago has contributed to the improvement in performance that we have witnessed in the results being released today. For instance, I note that all subjects except mathematics education and Kiswahili were well done, with a percentage pass of over 97%. I also observe that science education, that was a problem in the past, has greatly improved. Although mathematics education recorded the least performance rating of 75%, there has also been an improvement on mathematics itself.
The results indicate that 1,586, which is 28.4% of the students, failed the examinations and 3.7% were ungraded. Mrs. Museveni says her ministry will see that those who want to retake the examinations do so from the remaining 23 core PTCs to ensure that no student is affected by the ongoing reforms in the National Teacher Policy 2019.
National Teacher Policy provides for a transition period of 10 years, as all of you remember. I have accordingly guided my ministry that the countdown for the 10-year transition period shall start from the month the National Teachers Act come into effect. Soon, we shall be seeking Cabinet approval of the National Teachers Bill before it proceeds to Parliament for consideration. In the meantime, nothing stops any teacher who wants to upgrade to do so well ahead of time.
Performing college was Buhungiro PTC from Isinjiro District.
Performing colleges were Margarita PTC in Kitugum District, Nuru PTC in Iganga District, all of which attained an overall pass below 40%. It is important to note, Honorable Minister and First Lady, that the least performing colleges are privately owned, with many challenges as far as staffing, resources, and management are concerned.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education and Sports has revealed that the facilities and infrastructure for the 22 phased-out PTCs, after consultations with other institutions, are to be used for other purposes. Jinja PTC is expected to become a senior secondary school, Rukunjiri PTC repurposed for campus of Kabale University. Operationalization is subject to availability of requisite financial resources. I'm Navka Farida, and Abdunasir Wama in Kampala.
Now into the Presidential Press Unit. President Museveni, who is also the Commander-in-Chief of the Uganda People's Defence Forces, has pledged that government will set up a technical school in Palaro, Gulu district in memory of the late Brigadier General Pierno Okoya. Brigadier General Okoya was the Deputy Army Commander during the government of former President Apollo Militon Obote. He was allegedly murdered on the 25th of January 1970 by General Idi Amin Dada, who was then the army commander at the time. The president made the remarks today during the reburial ceremony of the remains of the late Brigadier General Okoya in Palaro, Gulu district. President Museveni, who sympathized with the bereaved family, applauded the late senior army officer who joined the army in 1948 for his good service to Uganda and attributed his potential to their education. President Museveni further expounded that the problem of Africa, including Uganda, started on a bad foundation at independence because of the political leaders who emphasized politics of identity, that is, tribes and religion, and made mistakes in their methods of work. President Museveni also asserted that the NRM government is able to reconcile people because they don't believe in the politics of sectarianism. At the same function, the people of Palaro donated 50 acres of land to the president, and he promised that it will be used by the State House to set up a demonstration farm in the area. The Chief Justice, His Lordship Alphonse Uwinyidolo, explained that the death of someone dear to you is painful, but the death through perpetration done with malice, like it was in the case with Brigadier Okoya, is devastating and traumatizing.
Felix. Laying in the tomb.
And that was the reburial in Palaro. And of course, as a national broadcaster, we did broadcast that live on our station. Now, as we move on in other stories, first, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East African Affairs, Rebecca Kadaga, has urged women across the country to raise their voices to fight corruption and insecurities so that they can promote peace and security in their country.
FemWise Africa aims to strengthen the role of women in conflict prevention and mediation efforts in the context of African peace and security. During the launch, Minister of East African Affairs, Rebecca Kadaga, urged women across the country to raise their voices to fight corruption and insecurities so that they can promote peace and security in their countries.
We need to position ourselves to ensure that our position is accepted, acknowledged, and supported. I'm glad that within the United Nations we have the Security Council Resolution on 1325, which speaks to participation of women peace protection, peace prevention, relief and recovery. I'm glad that a number of African women have been engaged as police officers, as in the military, but that's a limited role. So, but we need more because we are half of the population.
Kadaga went on to urge government, especially in Africa, to bring women to the forefront and take their issues seriously if they are to develop.
So, in independence, after independence, we have generated refugees governing ourselves. And where the women fit in, they're the victims, they're the camps, they're the ones who are struggling with no voice. So I think that families needs to push harder so that the place of women is really centrally placed in issues of peace and security.
Meanwhile, officials from the African continent led by Justice Effie Ofo said they did not come to fight the government as women, but wanted to work together to take the country forward.
I must say that as we talk about peace, we must not be minuscule, we must not be petty and only say we want peace as women. We must understand the context of our work. Where is Africa today? Why is Africa the way it is today? And that's why yesterday I said you must read as a feminist neighbor. You must understand the geography of Africa. You must understand the political economy of Africa. You must understand the ideology that pushed for Pan-Africanism.
Finding solutions to conflict in a country. If you have not read or still $100 document, please make sure that we get hold of a copy because it demonstrates to you how carefully famous Uganda has thought about its work as mediators, initiators of dialogue and champions of this thing.
Nicholas Nduga compiled this report for UBC News.
Now, Food Loss and Waste Day, as we hear in the story that the program manager Food Rights Alliance, Mrs. Atukunda Claire, has urged government to create national scale awareness on the escalating challenges of food loss and waste, and to also prioritize actions geared towards reducing food loss and waste for better and more resilient food systems.
Globally, over 931 million tons of food, accounting for 17% of the total food produced globally, is wasted each year in households, retail outlets, as well as restaurants or other food services. During the commemoration of the International Day of Awareness for Food Loss and Waste, under the theme Reducing Food Loss and Waste, Taking Action to Transform Food Systems, Atukunda Claire, the program's manager, Food Rights Alliance, said that every Ugandan throws away an average of 103 kilograms of food each year, amounting to a total of 4,546 metric tons of food wasted by the country annually, as according to UNEP Food Waste Index Report 2021.
Economically, we lose a lot of money. It's through food loss and waste. On a global level, we lose about 900 billion because of food loss and waste. And in Uganda's dairy sector, just the dairy sector, we lose about $23 million because of the milk that is powered each and every day.
She highlighted the four drivers of food loss and wastage in Uganda, including cultural norms and poor post-harvest infrastructure.
Come to Kampala in markets like Kalere, you find that we lose about 7.6 kilograms of food each and every day that is thrown away. And for a smallholder farmer, for a smallholder buyer and seller out there in the market, this is a lot of money, which if you pile it up for a week, for a year.
Alan Sebulime, a board member of Pelham Uganda, highlighting some of the recommendations to the government and the communities at large.
And also to see that people with bumper harvests can have the audacity to give away that excess to others at will, under the concept of leaving no one behind. let us also, government, embrace regional food bankers, regional silos. Why should you have one? Previously, during the other times, we used to have one in Jinja, but that was, I think, alone, one. Now it's high time we have regional food bankers.
Some of the civil society organizations members present at the event highlighted some of the challenges they face, putting much emphasis on the environment. Robert Katamba, Jamil Sekaja, News Tonight.
And of course, in our next story, we look at Kalaki Katiti Seed Senior Secondary School that was operating without a permit. There, of course, with also permanent structures in Kalachi district. This has finally been relieved with some structures. The school that has been hosted by both the Anglican Church and Katikati, that is Katiti, I beg your pardon, primary school, for a long period of time was supported by the Ministry of Teso Affairs with a 2-classroom block worth 130 million Ugandan shillings.
About 3 years ago, residents of Kalaki sub-county in Kalaki district had a dream of having a seed senior secondary school in their area, but they had no structures. The only option was the nearby church, which they partitioned with a tarpaulin to create classrooms.
We tried to demarcate, but it was quite difficult. 3 teachers teaching in the same. There was a lot of noise here and there.
The school was later shifted to the nearby primary school that had extra classrooms for learners.
The teaching and learning process was not conducive to me as a head teacher of primary. So I convinced the head teacher of Katiti Secondary. I said, why can't you, as a head teacher of Katiti Seed, write a requisition to the district education officer requesting the management of Katiti's primary to allow you at least use my 4 classrooms in the other side of a primary school.
While in the primary school, the Seed Senior Secondary School administration found it challenging to share the premises with the primary school.
It was so close to primary, and the primary kids were there, and the management also wanted to use that block.
This prompted the school administration to seek for financial support from the Ministry of Test Affairs to construct their own permanent structures.
Giving my sincere appreciation to the church, especially to our Bishop Hosea, for his generosity, for his love of the people he serves. This is 19 acres we got from the church, 19. It is not easy to get this kind of land anywhere these days.
Although their call was successful, there is still a need for more infrastructure support to this school.
The 2 classes now will occupy senior 1 and senior 2. The other 2 classes, we are still begging primary section. We are still using the 2 classrooms in the primary section as we wait for the government to think about us.
It should be noted that a 2-classroom block was constructed by the Ministry of Test Affairs at a cost of 130 million shillings. Joseph Oko, UBC.
And in the religious fraternity, Ugandans have been urged to love their faith and embrace godly deeds for a fair judgment. This advisory message was made by Judge Olive Kazarwe Mukwaya at the launch of a Discipleship Study Center located in Kirinya in Wakiso district.
Family, relatives, friends, and well-wishers of late Reverend Laban T.B. Kinga have gathered and celebrated the late legacy with official launch of a discipleship center in his memory. The celebration commenced with an intercession and music interlude amidst chanting from the guests. Prior to the ceremony, an afternoon prayer service was held.
Well, we do apologize for that technical glitch, but of course we will be able to rectify that, and we will have that story in the course of time as we continue with the bulletin. Now, as we move ahead, the Prime Minister, Robina Nabanja, has affirmed government's commitment to support the Uganda Heart Institute to set up a state-of-the-art heart institute for the diagnosis of cardiovascular diseases. This was in her speech read for her by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Dorcas Okalani, during the commemoration of the World Heart Day under the theme, Use Heart, No Heart.
Cardiovascular diseases remain a major health threat, where 1 in every 4 adults is a victim, whereas 1.6 million babies born in Uganda annually, 16,000 have heart defects. The Executive Director, Uganda Heart Institute, Dr. John Omagino, attributes this prevalence to sedentary lifestyles and poor eating habits.
Cardiovascular diseases are basically preventable because they are caused by lifestyle changes, where we, as a human being, we fail to balance what we eat with what we burn, because the only way to get nutrition which is necessary for your body is by eating food which must be healthy food. Lifestyle diseases, we are getting these ones through our lifestyle. Man is meant to be active like a fiddle all through life. You must get your food by gathering and not by via the supermarket market.
Dr. Omagino is advocating for policies that government should pass, aimed at reducing the burden of cardiovascular diseases among institutions.
All our institutions where our children are, whether it is nursery, primary, senior secondary, university, training colleges, and all those government, all those public institutions where our children are, nobody should be given a certificate to operate any of those institutions unless he can show space for what? Physical exercise.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Dorcas Okalany, represented the Prime Minister and reiterated government's position to support the institute to get its own home and reduce on referrals abroad.
The government of Uganda and His Excellency the President are committed to expanding the Uganda Heart Institute services and improving the access to cardiovascular care for all Ugandans. The signing of the financing agreement for the construction and equipping of the Uganda Heart Institute infrastructure development marks the pivotal moment of our effort.
Cardiovascular diseases can easily be prevented rather than treated. Dr. Henry Mwebesa, the Director General Health Services at the Ministry of Health, advises Ugandans to go for early screening and diagnosis of heart diseases.
As the Ministry of Health, we are emphasizing that we need to prevent these conditions before we develop complications. Stop smoking, stop drugs, but also early going for checkup for early diagnosis and treatment.
Dr. Omagino highlighted on the progress of the construction of the Heart Institute.
The land is all ours. We have the land title, all the encumbrances are solved, and now we are dancing on our what? On our land. The titles and the rest of the things, those ones have been sorted out.
The World Heart Day was set aside to increase public awareness of cardiovascular diseases, including their prevention and global impact. Mary Namkose, Irene Faith Nantongo, UBC News.
Uganda joins the rest of the world to commemorate World Contraception Day, aimed at improving access and utilization of contraception as an essential health service. The national celebrations will be held in Chenjejo district under the theme, Breaking Barriers, Embracing Choices for Youth.
We hope that the commemoration is going to achieve an increased awareness for the use of contraception, especially amongst vulnerable youth in the region of Rwenzori, but most important also at the national level. The barriers hindering the use of contraceptives in this country are quite many. Although the ministry has put in place the necessary structures and services to ensure that contraceptive use is universally available to everyone in need of it, there still exists practices, attitudes, and some structural barriers. Most importantly, we still have myths and misconceptions in the communities where people are peddling misinformation about contraceptive use. But most importantly also, we have negative peer-to-peer influences, which again alludes to misinformation. We have a low male involvement in the use of contraceptives, whereby many couples, especially the men, disapprove of their wives or partners from using modern contraceptives. But also we have challenges sometimes with cultural and religious institutions that have reservations about using modern contraception. And with this, the Ministry of Health is prioritizing social behavior change and communication as one of the best strategies to breaking these barriers, especially through the provision of age-appropriate information to the population as well as services. Yes, according to the most recent statistics from the Uganda Demographics Health Survey of 2022, we've improved our modern contraceptive prevalence rate from 30.4% to 38%, which is commendable. This is in line with our family planning 2030 commitments of attaining a 50% modern contraceptive prevalence rate.
Iganga Municipal Council Tailoring Sacco Imyoga project members are calling for government to support to boost local businesses that have thrived under the Imyoga program.
Iganga Municipal Council Constituency Tailoring Sacco is one of the most successful savings and credit cooperatives in the district, boasting 305 members. The Sacco initially started with a capital of 5 million Uganda shillings from the Microfinance Support Center with only 10 members. However, the government provided additional support with 30 million shillings through the Imyoga initiative.
The 5 million we received had a 5% monthly interest rate, while Imyoga offered an 8% annual rate. Opting for government financing was the wisest choice, sparing us from the high interest charges imposed by banks.
This money was used to procure 35 sewing machines, which were used to train members in tailoring.
In June 2022, as a result of our strong performance, the government provided us with an additional 20 million as seed capital, significantly fueling the growth of our business.
Each member contributes 50,000 shillings to support exhibitions where products are sold, further enhancing the business. This has also enabled them to tap into other small enterprises to expand their operations.
On certain days when customers did not make purchases, we turned to value addition by crafting items such as necklaces, table mats, baskets and more. These products found a promising market in South Africa. In April of this year, we even received orders from South Africa through our networking efforts, and we're now actively producing these items for export. We specialize in crafting table mats and dresses, and every Saturday our workspace is bustling with activity. However, we face a unique challenge related to the availability of soda bottle tops, which are essential for our designs. This scarcity has arisen due to increased plastic bottle consumption, prompting us to purchase bottle tops to meet our production needs.
Florence Maganda, the chairperson of Iganga Municipal Council Tailoring Circle, urges the government to support such vibrant enterprises, which can serve as catalysts to enhance other sectors at the regional level.
In the Busoga region, hosting exhibitions that draw visitors from other regions presents an opportunity for economic growth. Local catering businesses can benefit by sourcing produce for meal preparation, and the hospitality sector can thrive by accommodating guests. It's disheartening to see money leaving our country for foreign markets when through initiatives like Emuga, we have the potential to organize exhibitions that could attract international visitors and keep those funds within our economy.
This specific circle has already repaid the government revolving fund and has loaned out close to 104 million shillings to its members. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in Iganga Municipality.
And over to Kasangati, residents of Twekolera village in Wakiso district have disrupted enactment of telecommunication on mast that's being erected by an American tower company. The residents believe that the mast will cause miscarriages and cancer. Let's hear more from Saddam Mobale.
Drama ensued in Twekolera village, Masikiti zone, Kasangati town council, Wakiso district, as residents staged a protest against the erection of a telecommunication mast in their community. The objections are primarily based on health and environmental concerns.
People are complaining. They don't listen. They end up bringing police. They bring security. This is not a matter for police. This is not a matter for the army. There are places they have taken the army. Why do you do that? When you can sit down with the people in the community and agree with them on the way forward. So these forceful methods have made us people of this community to say no to the construction of a mast here.
Ensonga etulese wano ya mulongoti. Bagala tuzimbira omulongoti naye ffe tetugwagala. Omulongoti gwa bulabe eri abantu.
So my plea is we don't want a mast here because it is going to be surrounded by residentials, houses, children, schools. A school is here.
Led by Robert Mutuku, the residents effectively halted the construction work, despite the construction engineer having all the necessary documents to proceed.
Buli kimu kirina no file eri complete. Kebere building permit njirina, kebere ne certificate njirina. Buli kimu kyonna kyonna nga site endala zonna bwe tuzizimbye. Buli kimu kyenvunaanyizibwako okujja okubeera nti nkola ki.
This mast is constructed for who? Isn't it for our benefit? Now, if for us we are not comfortable that the mast should be put here, why must you force it there?
You'll find that as we advance in technology, the antennas and the transmission systems are coming closer to the public for seamless connectivity, because we're no longer connecting only mobile phones. We are connecting cars, we are connecting transport systems, we are connecting banking systems.
The discontent among the residents were there for all to see as they expressed their frustration.
Ya mulongoti guno gubataddeko tetugwagala kuba tetugwagalira ddala kireeta obulabe.
Residents claimed that they were never consulted about this development, which they believe will significantly impact their lives. One particular case is that of an expectant mother who fears for unborn child's safety should the mast be erected in their vicinity.
Obuzibu bwa mulongoti batusomesa ne batugamba abakazi abamu tugenda vaamu embuto zaffe. Kati nze olubuto lukyalina luto ntandika butandisa okuzaala baagala ngana okufuna ku mwana.
Obulamu bwange butoola omulongoti, obulamu bwange butoolebwako nnyo. Nava mu kibuga nenzija wano mu kyalo. Kaakati ate wono matanso tuyimbirira. Nze saagala sigusemba. Saagalira ddala mulongoti. Nga ndayira okufa nga ndi mukafiiri nze nassuuna jjana tinambawa.
To address these serious allegations, we sought for expert medical opinion and visited the Mulago National Referral Hospital.
That there has not been any research evidence
confirming that telephone masts can lead to cancer, can lead to heart disease, can lead to miscarriage, can lead to any healthy problem. Telephone masts emit radio frequency waves, radio frequency radiation. Now this is a type of radiation that is actually considered a very, not considered, but is indeed a very low energy radiation. It's so low to the extent that it's lower than the light we are able to see.
Dr. Noleb Mugisha provided a medical perspective dispelling the notion that telecommunication masts contribute to health problems. He explained that the radiation emitted by mobile phones is stronger than that emitted by radio and telecommunication masts.
Why are they not listening to us?
This revelation challenges the residents' beliefs and raises questions about the source of their concerns. Saddam Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
Thank you very much, Saddam Mubale. Quite an interesting story there. Now, Wakiso District Cadre Sheikh Arias Kigozi has urged Muslim leaders at mosque levels, imams, to build themselves economically by setting up income-generating activities. Sheikh Chigozi was speaking at Nachivubu Blue Primary School during the distribution of 2,000 chicks to the imams and the Amirat of Mosques in Kampala.
It has been a joy for imams and Amilat Muslim leaders from different mosques in Kampala and Wakiso District C after being given 2,000 chickens by the Minister for Kampala through the District Guard of Wakiso, Sheikh Elias Chigozi. The aim of the donation is to help the beneficiaries alleviate poverty.
Gwanga lino Uganda tubali tuli mukyengera waliyo ensi ezimu ngati wallahi tebakukkiriza kwazina nogamba nti Allahu Akbar eddakiika 5 polisi bayetolodde ennyumba yo.
The beneficiaries of this donation were urged to use the chicks for enrichment and not to sell them for quick profits.
Unity, we need to respect it and we have to take care. We need to be honest and sincere in this. It's also, let be a lesson to other leaders that you can support your communities via those.
Educational institutions have been urged to continue embracing tree planting within their vicinity in order to combat the effects of climate change. This advice was given by the Principal Education Officer in the Ministry of Education and Sports, Ronald Dungu, during the launch of Beyond Tree Planting Project in Kasangati Town Council.
Different partners in environmental conservation in Uganda continue to emphasize the need to collaborate with government and all stakeholders to accelerate the transitions to energy-saving solutions. Deputy Coordinator for the National Renewable Energy Platform, Dr. Nicholas Mukisa, says research data through partnerships with different stakeholders is vital in the implementation of the agenda for environmental conservation.
We have to be sure that the community we are added to is interested in having liquefied petroleum gas for cooking. The target audience is interested in briquettes, so that we give the audience what they expect, they want, and they're comfortable with, other than subjecting or imposing technologies on them which they cannot afford.
There is a lot of scientific and mathematical disciplines in tree planting, and it helps us in the teaching and the learning processes. And so that's why we embrace tree planting.
The Director Joint Energy and Environmental Projects JIP, Ruth Chwanuka, who hosted the Transition to Energy Sustainable Solutions Expo held at Chanja in Nakawa Division, emphasizes the need for joint collaboration with the government to implement sustainable energy solutions.
And we want even the members of parliament, because they represent our constituencies where people live, they need to learn and understand and promote and support and create awareness to the people. That's how we shall achieve something realistic.
So I think what we are trying now to fix is that livelihood component. If you are not using a wetland for rice, then what can you use it for? There are many elements.
Ronald Ridungu, the Principal Education Officer from the Ministry of Education and Sports, elaborates why schools should demarcate land for woodlot planting.
All these things are seen as you grow a forest, but also the 17 Sustainable Development Goals are critical. Food security, good health, quality education. All these goals are important to us in the education sector. So we would like to encourage our schools to find ways of planting trees, not only woodlots, but also fruit trees.
Greening Uganda remains JIP's priority in transition to energy sustainable solutions by year 2040, which calls for consolidated efforts in averting the impacts of climate change at all levels. Robert Katamba, UBC News.
Water, please. Can I pay with Momo? No. Hey, can I pay with Momo?
Here's our merchant code.
Very good.
7 mega?
20. Can I pay with Momo?
Unfortunately, no.
Baby, let's go.
When paying with MTN Momo comes with more benefits for everyone, it just doesn't make sense not to have it.
Hello, I've come for rent.
Can I pay with Momo?
Yes, you can.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or gift.
Get freaky too. Dial *100*0# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *100*0#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *100*0# to get started.
Airtel. A reason to imagine.
The Women Trade Fair for this year brings you the Black Friday earlier than ever before. Get ready to buy what you need at a 50% discount. Home appliances like fridges, cookers, TVs and so much more. Boda bodas, tukutukus, soap, detergent, cooking oil, sugar, rice and so much more. Don't miss to get what you've been longing for at a discounted price of up to 50% at the Women Trade Fair Black Friday from 3rd to 10th October. Proudly sponsored by Total Energy, Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat, Stanbic Bank, Uganda Breweries Limited, Tembo Seals, Uganda Bati, Simba Automotives, and Node Group.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or gift.
Get freaky too. Dial *100*0# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *100*0#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *100*0# to get started.
Airtel. A reason to imagine.
And into the world of business, Uganda Bureau of Statistics has released the consumer price indices and inflation that indicates a slowdown in annual inflation, with headline inflation at a 2.7% compared to the 3.5% of August. This fall in inflation is greatly attributed to the annual core inflation that decelerated. This was revealed at UBO's headquarters in Kampala.
Annual core inflation decelerated from 3.3% to 2.4% as at the end of August 2023, leading to further decrease in the inflation of goods that fall under the core inflation.
You realize that when you look at the weight, core inflation has over about 84% of our inflation is taken up by core items. And so a deceleration to 2.4% compared to that of 3.3% actually contributed greatly to the slowdown in the overall headline inflation of 2.7%.
Uganda Bureau of Statistics also attributes the deceleration to food crops and related items that registered a slowdown in inflation in the year ending September 2023 from 9.8% to 7.9%.
Annual inflation as measured by the Residential Property Price Index for the 4 quarters to Q1 financial year 2023-2024 was registered at 5.7% compared to minus 7.6% registered in Q4 financial year 2022-2023. This is attributed to an increase in the inflation of residential properties in Kampala Central and Makindye.
The high energy fuel and utilities prices were attributed to the inflation in liquid energy fuels.
And so also that energy fuel and utilities inflation, this one I've already talked about it, and in terms of weight, you can see it takes around about 7%. Now, worries ask the question why we are saying that inflation is coming down or slowing down, the rate of inflation, the rate of change of prices, and yet the prices in the market are still high. We normally paint a picture for you looking at the price levels. Price levels, it means, for example, when you look at August 2022, why we bring this, we want to show you. Because when you present the index, it is showing you where the price levels were.
Other fuels like charcoal slowed down to 15.9% in September 2023 compared to 22.0% registered in August 2023. Mariona Wori, UBC.
And now it's time for us to look at how the forex market and the stock markets are faring in our financial markets update.
Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or gift.
Get freaky too. Dial *100*0# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *100*0#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *100*0# to get started.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
And into sports, Kampala Old Boys Rugby Football Club has relaunched their Chitaka Tens, an event that will take place on the 30th of September and the 1st of October 2023 at the Legends Rugby Club. This event will also mark 60 years of the club's existence.
The Kitaka Tenaside International and Invitational Rugby Tournament started in 2006 in memory of the Cobbs Rugby Football Club patron and chairman, the late Edward Kitaka. However, due to unavoidable circumstances, it has not been held for 15 years now. On 30th September and 1st October 2023, the tournament will return at Legends Rugby Club.
Basically, Kitaka Tens, we've organized it to celebrate our 60-year anniversary. We're actually having 3 teams participating. There's Cobbs Rugby Football Club, there's a junior Cobbs that is called Box, and there's a ladies team called Panthers. We shall have around 12 teams from Uganda, 3 teams from outside Uganda but within East Africa. We have Democratic Republic of Congo, the national team of DRC coming in to participate. We have nondescripts from Kenya. We have another team from Kenya at the border. So the 5 teams of the women will play a round robin tournament. Then the first 2 will play a final before the final for the gents.
Speaking about Edward Kitaka's contribution to Cobbs and rugby, the list is endless.
Kitaka was first and foremost a rugby player for Cobbs and Uganda. He was part of those teams that won in the 80s, 90s, and he was a lock for Cobbs. So he played active rugby until 98, I think, when he was slightly older now, called an enforcer in rugby. So he gave as good as he got. So he was one of the biggest tacklers, hardest tackler that we knew. He unfortunately passed away in 2005. A colossus in rugby because he was passionate about Cobbs rugby. He was passionate about making people better, from picking all of us up from childhood. He would send cars for us who were in high school in Amiliango and Budo. He would send cars just to get the box rugby team started and playing. He was our father and our guide in rugby.
In the 1990s, when the league began, Cobbs was one of the pioneer clubs in the Uganda Rugby League or the Uganda Rugby Premiership. The inaugural season had the likes of Impis, Cobbs, Heathens, and I remember, I think, one team called ANC. So setting up those structures from a 4-team league to one that is today has 10 teams that is competitive, at which we also have teams that are coming from up country. I think that's also another major contribution from Cobbs.
Cobbs, having been established in 1963, is one of the most decorated clubs in Uganda rugby, boasting 13 premiership titles, 9 Uganda Cup titles, and National Sevens Championship. The Kitaka 10 tournament will be played at Legends Rugby Club on the 30th of September and the 1st of October 2023.
And that ends our bulletin this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Patricia Lekoma Mpango. From the entire team, it's a good night, but continue watching UBC programming.